Welcome back to my buttercream series. Today is the last video, so I'm going to answer as many questions as I can while I decorate this cake. When flavouring or colouring buttercream, this is the last job that I do, just because I will have quite large amounts of buttercream, so I tend to divide out the bowl and then into my separate colours and flavours. So yeah, it doesn't really change the consistency when adding colourings as long as you're not adding too much. When it comes to flavour, it kind of depends on what you're using to flavour. If you're using something like Biscoff spread or Nutella, that shouldn't really alter the consistency. However, something like cream cheese, which is quite soft, can make it a little bit runny. So I would suggest, if you have got slightly runnier buttercream, to add in a bit more icing sugar. If you have any leftover buttercream and you plan on using that in the next few days, then yes, I recommend it goes in the fridge. When it comes to using the buttercream, I recommend getting it out a couple of hours before you need it. If you forget, like I often do, then I'll just pop it in the microwave for a couple of seconds to soften it back up. And I always give it a little mix with my spatula before I use it. If you don't plan on using that buttercream in the next few days, then yes, pop it in the freezer and it can stay there for up to 3 months. I will often get it out the night before and let it defrost overnight, and then once it is defrosted, I will just give it a mix through to make sure it's still light and fluffy. There's nothing wrong with having air bubbles in, it's actually part of the normal process. The only 2 ways I found that I can stop this is when mixing together, my bowl has to be completely full of mix so no air can get in. Obviously, if you're making a small amount, then you're not going to need a full bowl, so I recommend once you've made your buttercream, just popping it in the microwave for a couple of seconds and it gets rid of the air bubbles. I don't know the science behind it, but it works. Yes, I have experienced grainy buttercream in the past, and that was when I was using too much icing sugar, so I find the 1-to-1 ratio for my buttercream works perfectly to prevent that. I hope this little series has been helpful. Bye!